And welcome back to another edition of Gunpla. We're going to have to workshop that name. And so we're going to take a look at what everyone's been talking about, the P. Bandai V8 and Mercury set. Now, I initially was super excited about this, and let's take a look. So this is GundamKitsCollection.com. They are showing off all the products that are coming out of Japan, Gundam-wise. And this took everyone by surprise because the V8 Mercurius came out in Gundam Wing 1995, 2000-ish for people in the West. And for me, both of these suits hold a special place in my heart. Now you can kind of read this little blurb here. You can go ahead and pause the video, but if you take a look at the kits, they look outstanding initially. And so we get some stuff that's a little new. Take a look at the blurb again and see what is new. But I know, as a person who has both these kits in the original 1/144th scale no grade form, that this gun, I'm sure, is now solid instead of hollow. And the V8 has this nice little reinforced section here that I did not really get on the no grade. So that's going to be really nice to see. I'm sure that everything is, color accurate and all that good stuff. I'm sure that these are plastic instead of stickers on this new one. You get some very vibrant, vibrant yellows going over here with this energy pod, and the beam saber effect part is definitely a lot less interesting compared to the 1/144th scale no grade version. This is really cool though, because you get to actually put your planet defensors on these little rings, and so that's definitely new. But in each of these photos, what is really disappointing to me, and why I said I was not as enthusiastic about these after thinking about it for a little bit, is the articulation. Now, the reason why a lot of people don't like the old 1/144th scale kits is because they lack that articulation. But if you look at these, right, you don't really see them in that much other than standing poses, right? So you got standing pose, fairly, like not even like a 180 or 135 bend. Over here, you don't really see that much. And that's concerning to me, because aside from the couple of things I pointed out, which was basically the hollow parts and the extra stand and maybe that like little rail, these look pretty similar to the original 1/144th scales. And I mean, I think I'm kind of happy with the 1/144th scale that I have. Anyway, I'm still super excited about this. I'm very excited to see what reviewers will say about the Mercurius and the V8. But let's move along. And for more Gundam Wing news, we got the Gundam Sandrock Custom. Now, for most people who are looking at this and saying, well, this is exactly the same Sandrock that we got before, I would argue, no, it's not. I'm not sure if we got the submachine gun before, but we also did not get this fantastic looking backpack with extra verniers. Now, I would argue that this is the perfect P. Bandai, because you don't really need to buy this kit, because most of the Sandrock has already been released, right? Maybe except for this submachine gun. But for the most part, you're not really missing out on anything. For those people who are Gundam Wing fans who absolutely need every single iteration, every tiny change, minute detail being expressed, then yes, this is exactly the P. Bandai for you. But for the average consumer, it's not much of a loss. And I believe that is what P. Bandai should be for. It should be for those people who are very excited about all these super minute changes, but anything that's commonplace, anything that you're seeing on TV, you should be able to obtain to a relatively easy degree. And so we're looking here, you get the different hands, which I'm believe that comes standard with their average Sandrock, the shield and the show tools. Probably saying that wrong, but you get just a gun. I mean, the gun is really the only difference other than the backpack, right? And I think, yep, there we go. So I think that is, I think that's great. So really, you're just getting extra verniers here, you're getting this vernier here, one's on the shoulders. It's perfect. All right, cool. So moving right along, we have the P. Bandai Strike Freedom Gundam Titanium finish. Now, if I did not already pick up the Strike Freedom real grade when it first came out, I would definitely grab this guy, because what's amazing about this kit is that all these other gold parts, and for people who don't build or did not build the Strike Freedom real grade, the only chrome gold parts are the parts here inside of these wings. And so what ends up happening is you get this really off kind of gold looking stuff around here, the joints, the chest, and it doesn't look good. So you gotta paint it. And so if you're not looking for that, right, you already have this really nice finish that's on the wings, on the blues, on the reds, and now you got this really nice crisp gold for the rest of the joints to go alongside the gold that's inside the wings. So if you don't have a Strike Freedom, if you don't have a Strike Freedom real grade, I would pick this up. It looks really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Just look at these. Like, look at that. Like, that's amazing stuff right there. All right, moving right along, we have the Core Gundam 3, another outfield kind of release that I was not expecting, but they're individually selling these Core Gundams now. So we have the Core 2 G3, and we have the Titans color, and best of all, they are sold at a 1,200 point price point, or 1,200 yen price point. It's around $12, very accessible towards people. So that means if you have the fake new weapon set, if you have a bunch of the the other armor set, the Saturn armor set, the Uranus armor set, you have Neptune, yeah, you got maybe, yeah, right? Neptune armor set that you want to stick onto your Core Gundam, then you obviously can do that. And you can do them in these different colors instead of having to buy a brand new set, kind of the way that they did this for, the Core 1. So I think that's super cool. I know that a lot of people are excited about this Titans color. I'm particularly interested in this G3 because I just like the white and this like nice violet color. That's just my favorite. It just looks good, And what's best about it is that for about $1,200, you can, or sorry, 1,200 yen, which is like about $12, you can get a suit, a nice little suit, transforms, and it's compatible with a lot of the stuff that's currently out there. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Now, I'm going to bring up this picture, or this article here from Gunjab, talking about the 8 new Gunpla released in December. And the reason why I bring that up is because they have some stuff in here that I did not see in some of the other news outlets, and that is this. So this is the, I'm going to butcher this, the Trislash blade, or a Tri-Slash blade. I don't know why I said it that way the first time, but the Tri-Slash blade, the thing that Kyoya uses, is now in a different color. So it's in this nice purple color instead of the blue color before. And you can actually just put it onto any of your grunt suits. Now, I think this is super cool and super versatile, because if you want that knight look, you got it. You just buy 2 of these things, and bam, you got a giant sword and you got a cape. So I think it's a pretty nice buy if you're into that knight look. And it's going for 8,800 yen. Now, you also have information about the entry grade, which is amazing. and I'm super looking forward to this. So I think it's something like 72 parts, 67 parts, no polycaps, two runners, or like 3 runners, I don't know. But you're basically able to intuitively construct a Gundam, and I think that's amazing. I think that is Gunpla engineering on a brand new level. Look at that. And you get all this great articulation with it. You got the chest or the stomach crunch. You have the kneeling pose. You have a pretty much 135 bend at the arm. You have the 3mm points on the arm so you can attach different stuff. You get a beam saber, shield, and the rifle. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And look at this. Look at that. You don't even have to color in the black, because it's done through shadow. That's the coolest little bit about that. But going on, we have the EX standard New Gundam and the EX standard Sazabi that I did not know it was going to be released. And it's for 660 yen. So for those people who like the SD line, well, here's news for you, because we got 2 brand new kits. Now, I mean, here's the gimmick, and I'm not super jazzed about the gimmicks, but I think that the way that the body looks of these EX standards are amazing. And then the last thing would be these. So I didn't know that they were releasing more of these Hello Kitty mobile suits, because I'm sure that I would love to pick one up, or 2, because we have the Zaku 2 variation of the Hello Kitty. Okay, nice green over here. And we have the Zaku 2 Char's version of the Hello Kitty. Now this is super cool. So I'm looking forward to both of those. And then soon after, Gundam Kits Collection released their own article about these 2. And so for Masquerade P Bandai, now I didn't actually look at this article because I'm personally not too much of a fan of the F90, not saying that's a bad kit or anything, I just don't have any affinity to it, but I think I kind of looked out because you have all these super cool mission packs. Now you get type D and G, 2,200 yen. Got tons of missiles, so that's kind of cool. And then I guess the G pack is a giant saber sword gun. Gunblade? Exia prototype? I don't know. So this is actually kind of cool. It's really neat. Got a lot of these cannon things kind of flying all over the place. Small little Gatling guns all over. Oh, these are kind of interesting looking. Look at this beam effect part. That looks amazing. Let's kind of scroll down and take a look at these. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. This shield in this the shoulder section is kind of interesting. I wonder if there's a gimmick associated with that. Now, I totally thought that these were shields at first, but I guess they're just the missile pods that just kind of fold over. So it's kind of neat. I'm not sure how good of a shield missile racks actually are. Yeah, this thing doesn't really look like it's a super huge gimmick. It just looks like a giant shield because it moves up and down. I don't think there's anything stored into it, but it looks unique. Looks kind of cool. All right, so I guess that's another one there. And I think there's a couple of kits that we're gotta summarize. I think we talked about this in the podcast, but the Lotus Ray double rebake. Now this is kind of cool. I think it looks super slick. I like the colors. Basically, I think this is like a Gundam variation of May. That's how I feel about it. Now I already know there's like the Woden pod and everything, but look at these colors. Like, how can you not think of May when you look at these colors? Except for the red. You take the red off then. Or you can think of May in Gundam form that's wearing a nice little scarf. Now the gimmick is terrifyingly awesome. I think it's super awesome. Really cool. You just kind of turn the thing around, rotate it, flip these down that were originally shoulder guards, and then you go ahead and flip the feet down. You got this awesome monstrosity right here. Now, the only thing that I'm a little concerned of is whether or not I can actually stand like that. So you can actually get some pretty cool poses, or if you absolutely need this stand. So we'll see.